Hello, everyone,
No,
and
not
welcome
yet.
to our
Not yet. Not
today.
yet. Not yet. Not yet. Sorry. It's saying something meeting.
Showing that it
Okay.
is. So, hello, everyone, and welcome to our today's Free Swahili lesson at Resplendence Language Arts. My name is Veronica Mutisia, and I am a Swahili teacher. I hold a Bachelor of Arts degree in Swahili. So I specialize in Swahili. I also do translation, that is the language pair of Swahili and English. I also do editing, engaging English and Swahili. Here at Resplendence Language Arts, I am tasked with the responsibility of an education director. So I do content development and designing for the curriculums that we run for all our languages. So welcome very much to our today's lesson. I will be teaching subject pronouns and subject prefixes on verbs. So first we start with what is a pronoun? And a pronoun is basically a word that stands in for a noun. And let's have an example of what pronouns are in English. We have the word I, you, he, she, or it. That is what we call pronouns. And then when we're talking about subject pronouns, we are talking about pronouns that are specifically used as a subject, the subject of the sentence. As you can see on my screen, I have indicated that. So this is the main doer of the action in the sentence or in the action. So in Swahili, these are the subject pronouns that we have. So mimi stands for I. If I want to talk about myself, I would say mimi to mean I. I, Veronica. Mimi, Veronica. So that is mimi for I. And then we have wewe for you. That is second person pronoun, wewe, you. So if I want to talk about you, I will say you. If you are a student, a learner, or anything, I will tell you, you student, wewe mwanafunzi. Mwanafunzi is the word we use for a student. So wewe mwanafunzi, meaning you. So wewe stands for you. And then we have yeye. Yeye is standing for he or she in English. So if we want to talk about someone else, let's call the third person, I will use the word yeye. Yeye ameenda, he has left or she has left. I will say, or let's say he has gone or she has gone. I will say yeye ameenda, yeye ameenda. So we have first person mimi, second person wewe, and third person yeye. So sisi here, as you can see, refers to we. So that is like basically the plural of mimi. If we want to talk like many of us, I have some company here and I want to talk about us, I'll say sisi, sisi. Let's say it's Veronica and someone else. So I'll say sisi, Veronica, and the other person. So if you want to talk about we in Swahili, you use the word sisi. And then we have nyinyi. And nyinyi is when you're talking about you all. You're talking about you when you're many. So it's basically the plural form of wewe. So you learners, you learners. Nyinyi wanafunzi, nyinyi wanafunzi. And then lastly, we have wao. Wao refers to they. So it's basically the plural form of yeye. If I'm talking about someone else who isn't here, I'll say wow if they are many. If let's say there is a group of learners somewhere else and I'm talking about them, I'll say they. So I will say wow, wanafunzi, wow. So first person, mimi, plural, sisi. Second person, we'll be talking about yeye, and the plural is nyinyi. And then we have lastly the subject pronoun for they, which is wao, and the singular is yeye. Let me share something else to help us understand this better. So we're going to be talking about now mimi, the first person pronoun, mimi. So mimi, as I said earlier, represents I in English. So in this particular case, it will be referring to I in this particular case. So when we are forming verbs or sentences in Swahili, we represent these by the affix or prefix ni. So if I'm talking about myself and I want to use the subject prefix on a verb, then I will use this prefix ni. For example, if I want to say, I am laughing, I'll say, mimi ninacheka. The word cheka means laugh, to laugh, cheka, to laugh. So mimi ninacheka. If I do away with this part, mimi, and I say ninacheka, you'll simply know like I'm talking about myself because of this prefix here, ni, meaning myself. And if I am talking about as many of us, I'm not alone. So I will say sisi tunacheka. So two represents it's the affix or prefix that we use on verbs. When we are doing conjugation, verb conjugation, we use to show the subject of the action. So if I say tunacheka, you will understand that I'm talking about us, many of us, tunacheka. Because when you see this prefix, you simply know that you're talking about sisi, we are laughing. So that is about the first person, singular, we have mimi, and then plural, we have sisi. Let's go to the second one. We have wewe. Wewe is represented by the prefix u. So if I'm forming a sentence, you will know that I am talking about you when you see this part, unacheka. And a prefix is these word segments that are added to the root of the verb. So the root of the verb here is here, cheka. So if you attach this subject pronoun u, na of course is the present tense. This is the present tense prefix. So it is a tense marker na here. So unacheka. If I tell you, I say unacheka, you will know that I am addressing yourself because I have used the prefix u for the subject prefix in that particular sentence. So if I'm talking about you, when you're many of you, I'll say nyinyi. And if I'm forming a sentence or conjugating a verb, I will say mnacheka because it is represented by So mnacheka, representing nyinyi. So always you'll find that when you use wewe, it is always followed by u as the subject of the action. So nyinyi is always followed by mnacheka. Or instances, wewe unacheka, nyinyi mnacheka. So this part of the verb and the tense marker could change. But then always the subject prefix has to always remain as for nyinyi. And then we go to the last one, well, which is in the third person, and we use yeye to mean he or she. In this particular case, he or she, and we represent it by the prefix or affix a. So if I am forming a sentence or I'm constructing, I'm conjugating a verb, of course, I will use a at the beginning. Anacheka. Anacheka, meaning I'm talking about someone else, not in the second person, not in the first person, not in the second person, but in the third person, someone else who isn't here. So yeye anacheka for he or she is laughing. Remember, we don't have gender words in Swahili. So if you use yeye or mimi, yeye or wao or any of this, it could be female or male. So you will determine the gender of the person by more elaboration. The context of the sentence will tell you like who is being referred to. Is he a male or is she a female? That is it. So yeye anacheka. If I'm talking about many of them, I will say wow. Wow. So wow wanacheka, and always wow is represented by the affix wa. So if I'm conjugating a sentence, I will simply say wow wanacheka, for example. Wow wanacheka for they are laughing, a typo there. So they are laughing. So the first part there you can see it is wa for the subject prefix. This is the main doer of the action of laughing. Wow, wanacheka. So if I am to give more examples, let's look at more examples using the word soma. And I'm going to stop sharing this and I come back to my whiteboard so that we can understand this better. So I want us to look at more examples using the word kusoma, which means to read. It is the infinitive form of to the action of reading. So to read, we say kusoma. So using this, I'm going to conjugate to form a sentence in the first person using the first person subject pronoun and prefixes. So I'm going to say mimi ninasoma, ninasoma. Sorry, mimi ninasoma. So this is to mean I am reading. And you know, like I'm talking about myself because of this part. Of course, simply because this mimi means I. But again, that is not enough when you're forming words in Swahili. It has to be accompanied by a subject prefix attached to the verb or the action. So in this word, in this part, we have ni, meaning me, like standing for me or I am reading. So this part here is simply the present tense marker in Swahili. Present tense marker in Swahili is always represented by na. So ninasoma, I am reading. Like right now, I am reading. That is what it means. So if I want to talk about many of us are reading, I want to say we are reading, I will say wewe we said the second person pronoun prefix, like the prefix, the subject prefix is u. So wewe is always followed by u. So wewe unasoma, again in the present tense. So wewe unasoma. You see again, this part is the part that is showing you. Wewe unasoma. You cannot afford to miss this in a sentence when you are conjugating a verb. It has to agree with this part, the first part. So wewe, you, unasoma. So if I'm talking about, sorry, yes, I was to talk about us. Now, if we are many of us, I will say sisi tunasoma. Yes, sisi tunasoma. And then the subject prefix again here is tu. So sisi is always followed by tu. Tunasoma, sisi tunasoma. And these examples that I'm giving, they are in the affirmative form, like in positive form of the action, and in the present tense, of course. So sisi tunasoma. We are reading. So we are to go to the second person plural. Wewe unasoma. So the plural of these is you all. You all in Swahili, as you saw earlier in my slide, is nyinyi. The personal pronoun or subject pronoun in this case is nyinyi. Nyinyi mnasoma. So this is for you all. You all are reading. And again, as always, if you're talking about many people in the second person, you're supposed to attach the subject prefix here, which is always. Nyinyi na soma. So again, this part could change depending on different tenses or different verbs that you're using. But for today, I'm just showing you my examples basing them on the present tense and particularly this word to read. So let's go to the third person subject pronoun. So here we have the word yeah. So yeah represents they or them. They are reading. If I want to say they are reading, I'll say sorry, yes, again. Yes, if I want to say he or she is reading, I will say yeye anasoma. Yeye anasoma. And that is it. So always yeye is followed by the subject prefix a. Yeye anasoma. And again, I will insist that this part could always change. Like this tense marker can change to show future or past tense. And this verb could change to something else according to the action that you're talking about. So yeye anasoma. This is the subject prefix attached to this verb root. So if I'm talking about many of them, like I want to say they are reading, again, I will say, wow, wanasoma, because we said like they is represented in Swahili is wow. They is wow. So wanasoma. So it is the subject prefix is wa. Nasoma, wanasoma. So wow, wanasoma, meaning they are reading. So if you want to say like you're doing something in the present tense, this is the way to go. I've showed you a bit of doing verb conjugation. Definitely if you have the verb root, and I went to show like, let me use another example for us to understand better. I'm going to use the word kucheka. This means to laugh. To laugh. Just to expose you to a little bit of verb conjugation in Swahili. So the first step is you drop you'll drop this part, the infinitive part, and you'll remain with the root cheka. Yes. So if you're left with that, you will cheka. Cheka simply means laugh. Laugh. So to conjugate this, you'll need to add, for a simple conjugation of this level, I'll show you how to attach the subject prefix, which comes first, which is the very first thing that you attach. So I want to say I am laughing without using the subject pronoun. So I want to talk about myself. I am laughing. So I'm going to use the subject prefix in first person, which is ni. So ni, and then you're going to add the tense marker. In this case, I'm still using the present tense. So the present tense marker is na. So it will be ninacheka. So here we have the subject prefix, and we have tense marker, and then we have the verb root, which is check. Again, Swahili is the Bantu language, and the common verbs end with the vowel a. So cheka basically is the root of this action. So ni nacheka, I am laughing. If I went to talk about, let's do this in second person, which is represented, the prefix here, we're going to use the subject prefix for second person, wewe, which is you singular. We are going to say unacheka, again in present tense. So you're going to add na, which is present tense marker, and then we attach that to the root of the verb. So actually this is unacheka. It becomes unacheka. Unacheka, sorry, I messed that. And then these will be ninacheka. So you can see, like, the rule remains, like, you have to put into consideration the subject or the doer of the action. So it could be in first person, it could be in second person or third person. It's you to determine it's singular or it's plural. And in this case, the first sentence there, it's first person singular, and again, second person singular. So the last example here, I'm going to give the example of in third person plural. So third person plural here, we are talking about they. So, and we said they is represented by the subject prefix wa. So wana, yes, we add na, and then the root of the verb, which is cheka. So we'll have the word wana cheka. So that is how simple it is. You have to know in which tense the tense that you're talking about. You also have to understand the subject prefix that you're supposed to use so that it can go with the personal pronoun. Actually, if you're talking about wewe, you can't say wewe ninacheka. It doesn't agree with the ni, won't agree with wewe. So it always has to agree. If you use ni, it has to agree with mimi, the personal pronoun I. So definitely that is it about subject pronouns and prefixes. Maybe I share something a bit because I know people will be like, I want to know how to say I am so and so. So the basic way to say I am so and so in Swahili. Let me clear this and then I show you how to do this. So when you want to say I am, if I want to say I am Veronica, I will use them. I will be using the simple tense, the present tense of of to be. You understand? You know what this is? So in English, you'll be talking about words like is, okay, yeah, is, or are. Yes, this. Oh, sorry for that. So present tense of to be. Is, or are. I mean, in English, it changes a lot. You have to be like, it depends on what you're saying. But in Swahili, when you want to talk about all of this, you only use this prefix, ni. You only use this, ni. Not prefix, but you use ni. So this stands like for the present tense to be. Present tense to be. So if we want to say, I am Veronica, I'll say Mimi, of course, Mimi ni Veronica. Yes, Mimi ni Veronica. If we want to say like you are a student, I'll say wewe ni mwanafunzi. Wewe ni mwanafunzi. Wewe ni mwanafunzi. So, oh, sorry, I messed that. So, wewe ni mwanafunzi stands for you, which is, okay, so you are a student. And again, in Swahili, we don't have determiners. Like, you can only know this from the context, or from the context of the word or sentence or whatever you're saying. We have to understand it from what you say, but it is not like it is not presented in by any word or anything. So we don't have determiners, we don't have are, there, but the context in which a word or a phrase is in will tell us like this is supposed to be which determiner. Yes. So again, I want to talk about, if we want to talk about they, I'll say, I mean, not they, but he or she. I want to say she is a student, or he is a student. I'll say yeye, again, because we said yeye represents he or she. So yeye ni for is, ni for is. Yeye ni mwanafunzi. Mwanafunzi standing for Alana. Mwanafunzi standing for a student or Alana. So you can see like this, oh, sorry. So this part, mimi, ni, this ni here is I am Veronica, I am Veronica. And then wewe ni is, so yeye or you, okay, she or he is a student. So yeye ni mwanafunzi for is. This ni here standing for ni. So at least you know how you can say I am so and so in Swahili. And again, you can say actually what you're doing, because we've learned a bit on how to do verb conjugation in Swahili. So I'm going to stop sharing this and then take you back to a summary of what we've just said. And then to the summary of what we were saying, simply we have, I'm going to have this. Yeah, sorry. Yes. I want us to see the summary of what we just said. And we were talking about subject or pronouns or personal pronouns and subject pronoun marker or prefix. So in first person, we said we have Mimi standing for I, in this particular case, I, and Sisi for we. And we said Mimi, the subject pronoun marker or subject prefix is ni. And then Sisi is represented by tu when you're forming or you're conjugating a verb in Swahili. When you're talking about second person pronouns, you use wewe for you, wewe for you. And when you're talking about you all, you use nyinyi, nyinyi. And we said the subject prefix or marker in this case for wewe, you singular is u. And when I'm talking about many of you, I'll use this subject prefix, And then to the third person pronouns, when I want to talk about he or she, in this case, he or she, I'll say, I will use a as the subject prefix or subject marker. If I'm talking about many of them, in this case, it should be they. If I'm talking about they, I'll use the subject prefix wa. So this is it. Very easy to grasp, very easy to understand. Swahili is interesting. Actually, like you've seen, the sounds that I produce is actually what I have written. So ni, tu, u, very easy. That is the beauty with a phonetic language. You only say what you see. So thank you very much for watching. Kindly follow us on Facebook. We are, like our page on Facebook, we are Resplendent Language Arts. On YouTube, we are Resplendent Language Arts. Like our videos, learn there, subscribe and share. We keep sharing knowledge. Come learn with us at Resplendent Language Arts. We are offering a bunch of African languages, and we are planning to do more and more. So currently we are starting Twi classes soon. Make sure if you're interested in learning Twi, you join our classes kindly. And again, we are starting our Swahili classes, group classes. We already started off with tutoring packages. So our group classes, which we run on Zoom, will be starting officially on Saturday. So you're most welcome to learn with us. It's the best place you can ever be. It's the best place to learn from. So thank you very much for those who will be learning Swahili in a group setting. I will see you on next Saturday. Thank you very much.